My husband was able to come just as I was finishing giving birth to our daughter, and we were all holding up our newborn baby. The doctor said this with a huge smile on his face and tried to pass the baby to my husband, Liam.
The baby is really energetic. She's your adorable daughter.
But my husband said,
Do the DNA analysis test on her,
with a serious look on his face. Excuse me? Everyone in the room who heard what Liam had said froze instantly. I was too tired from giving birth and I couldn't speak properly. All I could do was watch to see what my husband would say next. Then my husband made a shocking statement.
There's a chance that this baby isn't mine.
My name is Julia. I am 28 years old and I work at an office. I had married my husband Liam 3 years ago, whom I met through a singles party. Liam was very kind. He was a gentleman and very social, and I was immediately attracted to him. We went on a series of dates and began going out as a couple, and after going on to many dates, we got married. We lived happily together, sharing house chores and supporting each other. We had some small arguments, but I don't think there were any huge fights. We did say that we wanted to have kids someday, but we also wanted to enjoy our life together as newlyweds. So, in the beginning, we were not that focused on having a baby. But as we entered our 3rd year of marriage, Liam's parents began to mention about wanting grandchildren a little more. So my husband and I discussed about it and decided to try to have a baby. At first, I doubted whether it would work, but after gathering a lot of information on the internet and putting it into practice, it seemed to work, and I finally became pregnant. My husband was very happy to learn that I was pregnant with our baby. Since it was my first pregnancy, I was anxious and worried, so I often went to my cousin and his wife for advice. My cousin Ryan and his wife Angelina were very kind and nice, and since they had experienced having kids before me, they taught me a lot. Eventually, my stomach got bigger and bigger, and it became difficult for me to move around by myself. The morning sickness was getting worse, and I was not feeling well. I wanted my husband to support me, but he seemed to be getting busier at work around the time and was coming home late day by day. And Liam began to blame me for not being able to do the house chores when I was too sick to do it.
Why isn't dinner ready?
I'm sorry. The morning sickness was getting to me.
So that's why you've been sleeping on the couch all day? Aren't you taking the advantage of being pregnant too much?
Excuse me?
I get home while I'm super exhausted, but you're just relaxing around at home? You even took maternity leave, and all you do is relax around at home. How pathetic.
What? My husband didn't forgive me for taking the time off because I wasn't feeling well. Maybe his own work has become so busy that he probably has too much on his mind and he's stressing out. But what's difficult is difficult. It is difficult to go shopping at the supermarket and do house chores in this condition. But if my husband is blaming me like this, I have to do something. But my parents have both already passed away, so I can't rely on them now. And I don't think it would be right to ask Liam's parents to come over. So at that time, I thought of my cousin Ryan and Angelina. Ryan works from home, and it's not that he doesn't have work, he does, but he doesn't need to work that long, so he has a lot of time on his hands. And since his wife is at home with him, I decided to ask them both if they could support me occasionally, just in case. Then both of them agreed and started coming to my house when I was having a hard time with morning sickness. They went with me to the supermarket, cleaned the house, and helped me cook dinner. They told me about their experiences in raising children and giving birth, and I really appreciated that, since it helped me so much. My husband doesn't seem to have any complaints either, since the house is clean and the meal is served properly. But on the contrary, I had more complaints. Not only did my husband had to work late more and more, but he also had to work on his days off more and more. I once complained to my husband about his busy working schedule. Can't you reduce your workload at your office a little more? It's pretty difficult for me to not have my husband be by my side when I'm going through a difficult time with my pregnancy. But when I said this, my husband made a very annoyed and disgusted look on his face.
I'm working hard for the sake of our baby, you know? And you're saying that you don't want me to work?
That's not what I mean, but I just wish you'd spend a little more time at home.
Don't you think you're being too selfish here? You should know what I'm going through.
My husband said that and went to his room. I wonder if it's okay that we are having this kind of misunderstanding, even though our baby is going to be born soon. Would my husband love our baby properly? I began to worry. I became so anxious that I asked Ryan and Angelina for advice. Both of them said that what my husband had said was a bit too much. But they also told me that they think that once the baby's born, Liam would love our baby so much. Well, I just hope that Liam would also raise our baby properly. Meanwhile, my due date was approaching. My husband, as usual, never worried about me. When I told him that I was going to give birth soon, he told me to remind him just before the birth of our baby. My cousin and his wife encouraged me, but I was still really anxious. A few days later, the contractions started, and I went to the clinic. My cousin and his wife had a schedule on that day that they couldn't miss. So this time, I contacted my in-laws in advance and asked them to come to our house. So my father-in-law, Bob, drove me over to the clinic. When we arrived at the clinic, they told us to go straight to the delivery room, and it was time to begin. Giving birth wasn't at all smooth and easy, and it took longer than I expected. But, thanks to that, my husband was able to rush to the clinic after work. And my husband was able to come just as I was finishing giving birth to our daughter, and we were all holding up our newborn baby. The doctor said this with a huge smile on his face and tried to pass the baby to my husband, Liam.
The baby is really energetic. She's your adorable daughter.
But my husband said,
Do the DNA analysis test on her.
with a serious look on his face. Excuse me? Everyone in the room who heard what Liam had said froze instantly. What the hell is my husband even saying? Since Liam began to say such nonsense, all of a sudden, both his parents were panicking. Oh, Liam, what are you even saying?
Your daughter was just born, yet you asked for DNA analysis right away? What's wrong with you?
I was too tired from giving birth and I couldn't speak properly. All I could do was watch to see what my husband would say next. Then, my husband made a shocking statement.
There's a chance that this baby isn't mine.
Everyone who heard what Liam had to say froze in shock once again. My head was in a daze, but I managed to get the words out. Why are you even asking for that? She is your daughter, you know. But my husband looked at me coldly and told me how he knew that I was having an affair behind his back.
So at least we should check the baby who her real father is and have her do the DNA analysis.
The doctor looked really confused by what my husband had said.
But you also need your wife's permission for that.
To that, Liam sighed and said,
I bet she would say that she wouldn't want the baby to go through DNA analysis.
And he went on to say,
What a trouble she is, huh?
The way he said that made me very angry. Fine, I'm innocent anyway. I don't know why you'd suspect me, but if you want to investigate, why don't you investigate thoroughly? My frustration with my husband has somewhat wiped away the exhaustion I had felt earlier. I glared at my husband as I said this, and to that he said,
"Well then, don't mind if I do,"
and walked out of the hospital room. After my husband left the clinic room, all of us felt really awkward and uncomfortable. My in-laws probably believes me, but they don't seem to believe that everything their own son said was a lie as well. But I guess this happens a lot, so it looked like the doctor didn't seem to care much about it. I was more shocked and angry that my husband didn't even look at our baby once she was born, let alone pick her up in his arms. No matter how much Liam doubted me, how could he be not that interested in our baby? If this happens, I will confront my husband with the results of the analysis and then ask him why he even doubted me. Depending on the reason, I even thought about getting a divorce. I am just on maternity leave, and once I return to work, I can support my daughter as a single mother. So, I don't care if I divorce my husband. After that, I did the DNA analysis as my husband requested and waited for the report of the test result. On the day where we find out the result, my husband seemed somewhat confident. How could he look so confident? Then the doctor took out the report.
"I will tell you the result of the test. This child is not your biological child."
My mind went blank. What in the world was going on? I wasn't cheating or having any affair behind Liam's back. My husband grinned and said,
"See, I knew it. That's what I thought. You are the worst, Julia. You're such a lousy woman trying to get me to raise a child who you made because of your affair. But you couldn't fool my eyes. I'm divorcing you and charging you alimony. You will reflect on your mistakes and atone for your sins."
With these words, my husband started to leave the clinic room. I had no idea what was going on. Was this a dream? And I mean, how could this even happen? Then the doctor said, "But," and continued to talk.
"The report of this test result seems to be a fake."
What? I looked up to see the doctor. My husband also stopped and looked back.
Fake? Doc, what are you saying here?"
My husband asked, sounding really upset. The doctor looked at my husband straight in the eye and began to say this.
"I know that you have a friend at the institution where you requested for the DNA analysis."
When the doctor said this, my husband's eyes widened.
"That's why I thought you might be faking the analysis results. So I also requested another private firm to do the actual DNA analysis, just in case. And then there I got the result that you are actually the father of your daughter. So this means that it's completely true that your results are fake, right?" No way. I didn't falsify anything." "Oh, there's no point in trying to get away with this. I have a friend at the same institution that does the DNA analysis, so I had him check it out there. So I had my friend question your acquaintance, and he completely confessed. It seems that you were giving him money to make false reports, weren't you? Why did you want to do that to Julia by committing such a crime?"
My husband looked panicked now, and it looked like he was really nervous that he couldn't stop sweating. And at that time, Ryan and Angelina came to the clinic room. "Huh? What happened, Ryan and Angelina?"
"We were actually personally curious about what you had said, Julia. So we were doing our own research."
"Huh? What do you mean by that?"
"It's about your husband not being interested in your pregnancy at all. Angelina's friend is an investigator, and we asked the investigator to look into your husband. And it turns out that your husband was having an affair. We even have proof here that he was cheating on you.
Saying that, Ryan handed me the evidence photos. What? No way. So Liam was the one who was actually cheating on me? At this point, my husband's face was completely pale.
Why are you all investigating about me?
Ryan said something surprising as he stood in front of my husband.
You really are the worst. Your lover is the daughter of the president of a major company, and it looks like you're also getting married with her. So you were going to cut off Julia and be together with your lover, right? What? You even investigated that much about me?
Hey, Liam, is that all true?
No. Hey, you can't get away with this, you know? It seems your lover didn't know you were married, so we told her already. So now you must be in a lot of trouble, since you tricked the daughter of a major company. No way.
You're just the worst, Liam. You're trying to accuse me of cheating on you, and you were just trying to make yourself happy. As you wished, I'll divorce you gladly. But I will for sure make you pay for the alimony and the child support. Hearing that, my husband collapsed to his knees. Liam then lost his job immediately after his lover got angry at him, since she found out that he was actually a married man who lied to her that he was single. Her father told the president of the company where Liam worked to fire him directly. I then successfully divorced my husband. Alimony was paid right away, and Liam could only afford to pay child support in installments, but if his payment is delayed, my lawyer would contact him immediately to check up on him. My ex-husband has been cut off by his own parents because of this terrible incident. And now, my ex-husband has been unable to find a new job because he offended the president of a major company, and now he is working a low-paying part-time job to pay off his debts while living a poor life all by himself. It's really all his own fault, and seeing him like this is a great feeling. Meanwhile, I was safely discharged from the hospital, and I was curious as to why the doctor was so supportive of me, so I asked him why when I got out of the clinic. Then the doctor has said something I didn't expect.
At first, I didn't realize it because your last name had changed, but your father was my mentor.
What?
When I was a senior in high school and when I was unsure of what to do for my career, your father, who was my teacher, gave me a push. That is why I was able to study hard to enter medical school. I'm truly indebted to your father, so I wanted to do everything I could for you.
Oh, wow, I see. Thank you so much. I don't know what in the world I would have done without you, doctor. I thanked the doctor as well and told him to come to my house anytime. Then later, I went to see Ryan and Angelina and thanked them as well. Without them, I would not have been able to know the truth about Liam and how he cheated on me. I realized that I am able to live now with the support and help of many people. I will continue to live my life so that I can help those around me as they have helped me. But first, I will take good care of my beautiful, lovable daughter. There's no way I would try to falsify the results of a DNA analysis test. And it's disgusting that Liam did that, just so he could have a better life with his rich lover. I hope Liam goes to the bottom of hell. And I hope Julia lives happily with her daughter while being thankful to the people around her who helped her. Thank you for watching until the end. Please subscribe to our channel. We hope to see you in our next video.